I am excited to share this video. I love having people share their stories of how they ended up in Mexico, retired or before retiring. And so today I have another YouTuber. This is Cindy, and I'll have her really do a little bit better of an introduction of herself. But I've been watching her videos, she's been watching my videos, and I want to share her story. You'll be able to go to her channel. At the end of this video, there'll be a button or something on screen, and there'll be something down below. But I want to dig in right away and have you guys kind of hear Cindy's story. So Cindy, maybe you can start out, introduce us, tell us your new channel name, and also tell us where you are. And I'm going to try it. Huatulco. Tell me if I did that right.
You're perfect. Perfecto.
Perfecto. Excelente.
Yes, my name is Cindy. My husband's Fred, and we have a second channel in our lifetime. And this channel is called Life in Huatulco. We focus down not to retiring in Mexico, but to let people know about exactly where we live because, well, we think it's almost heaven, Huatulco.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. And I want to dig in first because I was not familiar with Huatulco before I saw your channel. So this is a new one on me. I see a lot of other people who are in the Yucatan or, kind of Puerto Vallarta, some of the more common locations. So why don't you tell us where Huatulco is and a little bit more about the relationship to the water? Because I looked it up on a map and I wasn't quite sure I understood.
Okay. So I like to tell people if you look on the United States map, and you find New Orleans, and then you just come on straight down, you'll go to a coastline on the Gulf of Mexico, and that is called Coatzacoalcos. And actually, I lived there 21 years. And then if you just keep going all the way down till you get to more water, that's the Pacific, and that's Bahias, which means bays, Bahias de Huatulco. And it's called that because we have 9 bays and 36 beaches. And there's a lot to do. And let me tell you that we're number 2, not in Central America, North America, in the world. We're number 2 in ecology.
I saw the kind of like the town of Huatulco, but then it seemed like a lot of the images, it seems like it's more of a bigger area that is all those different bays. And it seemed like I even saw a picture with a cruise ship in it. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about this area because people might be thinking, hey, this seems like a good place. Maybe I'll check this out. There seems to be when people come through La Paz and they're on the journey around to decide on a place to live, Huatulco doesn't come up. It's kind of like Cabo, La Paz, Ensenada on the Baja Peninsula, Puerto Vallarta, Sayulita. So there's kind of a couple of places. But this is a new one for me. So tell us what's life like there, and a little bit more about how that all works. Are you in a town? Are you on the coast? Yeah, share.
So we have 3 names. Our city hall is in a quaint little town called Santa Maria, Huatulco. And that's where, like, we went to register little footprints of our granddaughter, things like that. And then we live in La Cruzacita, the Little Cross, which is the big downtown and old residential areas. But then where the cruise ships come in is just beside it, and it's called La Cruz, the Cross. And that's where the cruise ships come in, and that's where the legend of a cross that was put there could not be taken out for many years. And then they finally got it out and used that large cross to make lots of small crosses for several churches in we're in the state of Oaxaca. And then, so that's where we got the little cross. And yeah, and then we have Cross Day on the 3rd of May. So we are in Oaxaca. And we have a lot of major resorts. We've got 3 big resorts. We have vendors coming selling oranges right now. You can hear them. And it's a quaint town. You can probably walk to everywhere you need to for all your errands, for paying bills, for shopping. And we have some towns have malicones or right. Well, we have where you can drive the coast. We have an ATV and they're legal here. You
Uh-huh.
can go to lookouts, you can go to beaches. It's a place where like God has lots of living rooms everywhere where you can just go sit down and enjoy
Mhm.
contemplating and being happy you're alive. We have lots of organic fruits and exotic fruits and vegetables, and the people from the mountains bring them down. They get on a collectivo bus and standing on the bus with their wares, and you can eat so healthily because they arrive about 5:36 in the morning, selling their fresh fish from Puerto Angel, and their cheeses and their honeys, and it's just wonderful if you're into healthy living.
Yeah, and I guess that is true. Like some people come to Mexico for the healthy living, some people come for the beach, some people come for the unhealthy living, which is the people who probably moved to San Jose del Cabo, or not San Jose, but Cabo San Lucas. That's more the party towns. But yeah, well, wonderful. Thank you. I'm definitely understanding better. I am guessing that you weren't living in New Orleans and you looked at a map and you just said, if I go straight south, that's where I want to land. So how did you choose this place and how long have you been living there?
I've lived here 5 years in the area of Oaxaca
Mhm.
and 21 years in the state of Veracruz. And when my son joined the U.S. Navy, I went back to the States for a while to be closer to him when he
Mhm.
would be at dock in Norfolk. And I met my husband, my present husband,
Mhm.
and my son. When my son got out of the Navy, 12 years later, he got out of the military. Well, he decided that we needed to be here because he'd fallen in love with a girl here that
Thus
he
the
had.
baby footprints.
Yeah. When he was in high school, he went to high school here, and he started getting on high school pages online, and they re-met. They had met before. Isn't that wonderful?
That is
So
wonderful.
that's a good way to find a town, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we came to visit, and within 7 days, most people tell us this. Within 2 days, they know this is for them. They know this is for the freedom, the kindness. There's no stress. And let me talk about that ecological thing again. We
Mhm.
have reserves everywhere, and that means the oxygen's very, very good here. And
Mhm.
then we have the ocean air also. And there's a balance here. And the nearness that we are to the equator also, it just uh, puts in this healthy atmosphere, and your bones don't hurt. I'm
Mhm.
74, and my bones don't hurt. My body, the inflammation's not big. People that used to just kind of shuffle around are jogging,
Mhm.
dancing, having a new life. I don't know if it's because they're eating healthier, that their food wasn't picked 3 months ago and on a container coming to Walmart. I don't know what it is, that the food's fresh, the air's fresh, there's no stress, there's no worry, and everybody's kind. There's no road rage. I don't know, but our bodies are so much healthier here.
Yeah, that's interesting. You reminded me of a story that it's probably about a week ago. I met someone and he was an American who had moved here to El Centenario, like he lives around the corner from my house, and maybe 5 months ago or so, and he started feeling really lethargic, like really like not good. So he'd moved here. He had come from a very high stress place and a high stress job. He retired. He moved to Mexico, and all of a sudden he started feeling really awful. And his neighbor, who is another American, said, we just need to get you to a doctor. So he took him to a doctor, tested his blood pressure, and it was ungodly low because when he was up in the States, he had been on such high blood pressure medicine to bring it down. And he didn't change that. When all the stress went away and his body started naturally lowering his blood pressure, he's taken the same pills. And it's just got him to the point where he hardly has any blood moving through his system because it's such low blood pressure. So found a doctor down here who recalibrated everything for his New Mexico lifestyle. And now, and he said the same thing. He's not sure. He's like, I don't know if it's the not stress. I don't know if it's the air. I don't know if it's the food. I eat better food down here. So, yeah, whatever it is, that's one thing to think about. When you move to Mexico, you might need to recalibrate those drugs you're taking because your body starts to heal. And sometimes those drugs are counter effective at that point.
That's an excellent point. It's very true. My Fred had 5 bypasses, and of course, they had him on all these medications. And our doctor has them off of, well, half dosage of almost everything because that's exactly what happened to him. And the first month we were here, a doctor told me that even the little old ladies from the villages here that come down to visit their grandchildren that are on the coast, they have to, their blood pressure goes boom because they're living in the mountains and now they're on the coast. So yeah, you need to be sure that you know how to use Google Translate when you go, especially to the coast, if you're from higher levels, so that you can be sure to get to a doctor and get that checked if you're feeling funny.
Yeah, that is great advice. So I want to see, like, you are retired in Mexico, but you're still producing YouTube videos. So that's a thing for you and Fred. Tell us about your YouTube channel and what you're trying to do with that.
When we got here, now I don't have any idea about the income of other people on Social Security and how they survive. Our house is paid for. We built it in the United States, so we didn't have that expense. But we had to continue working to survive. And I had a hard job because my regular job profession that I had didn't pay enough. So I became a laborer on the road, resetting grocery stores. And when you're 70 years old, that's rough. A different store every day. That's rough. And I says, we can't keep doing this. How am I? And that was to survive, and we got debt free, totally debt free. And so I don't know how other people survive on Social Security, but here we're very happy. We don't rent high. You can get $1 million homes here. You can live on a cliff looking over the ocean. You can be in very exclusive residential areas. Everything is available here. And I help people find that. But when my son and his novia, his girlfriend, when he came to visit her after having known her online a long time, in 3 days, they called us and they said, we want you to move here. We're going to get married. I said, you are? That's great. I want him to marry a girl from his hometown. And they all had the same friends and everything, and they knew the same culture. And I thought that was wonderful. And he said, they had gone to the grocery store, found the places that the rent prices, and they had really done their homework. And they knew how much we were making on Social Security, and they worked it out, and it was fine. When we first got here, our rent was $125 a month.
Wow.
Rent's going up here. Rent's going up. The little studios are now, instead of 3,000 pesos, they're 5,000. Rent's going up. It's a resort area. It's sought after. Yeah,
but a studio for $250 a month US, still not so bad compared to a place. I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to even compare to the US. The closest thing I would say is maybe something like San Diego or something, where it's just like the beautiful weather and the nice town and whatnot. And I don't even want to think about what we were paying for rent when we were in San Diego in a beach community. So,
well, that's good to know.
Yeah, exactly. It's so wonderful being down in Mexico. And it sounds like you now are working for gringos who want to move to Mexico. So you have a business that helps people transition?
Not really a business. What we did was, when we got here, we just looked at each other and we said, well, okay, we're finally retired, but we need to continue to give back. And he says, we need to tell people about how they don't have to live in poverty and they can eat well. we need to tell people about this. And the YouTube started. I didn't even know how to make a YouTube. I watched maybe 21 times the same YouTube video on how to make my first YouTube. It was so hard, but now it's fun. It's just relaxing. I wouldn't call it a business at all by any means. We do put all the rentals and the houses for sale and for rent in our anybody who wants to for us to publish them, but we don't charge anybody. We never have. But what? No, we never have. And but it just the last channel we had 600 videos, and it shows everyday life. It shows how to adapt. It shows how to shop. It's not restaurants and margaritas. It's just not that. It's for what baby boomers need to know so that they can come here and already know things that would probably confuse them, you know? And that's why we do this.
Yeah, and it's definitely valuable. I guess I should have started out this video by apologizing for my tardiness because I was 15 minutes late to record this video because I had been at the bank. I lost my ATM card and it took over an hour to get a new ATM card at the bank. So sometimes it's nice to be retired in Mexico because you need that extra time. I'm not yet retired, getting there, but it's definitely a different process for everything. And it was, a process I should have expected the process, but it took a little longer than expected. So it's great when other people kind of walk you through that so you know what to expect. And
exactly. Our videos show all the things they need to be sure of. There are so many red flags that you need to be sure for. And that's what our video is about. It's not about tourism. I don't even know anything about tourism. I've never been a tourist in Mexico. I've always been a local. And anyway, but as far as business, yes, we will be having some courses that people can watch and rent, just courses that they can rent and look at if they don't have time to watch a whole lot of videos.
Yeah.
And that's our goal.
That is a wonderful way to use like YouTube. It's great. There's a lot of information out there, but you can repackage your information into something that's very concise and organized, and maybe some PDFs, and that's a great thing to sell. So I want to start to wrap up the video, but I like to get a tip. Like, what's your number one tip that you would give to someone who's thinking about retiring in Mexico?
You need to make sure what kind of weather you like. Your body likes, what kind of weather your body needs, you need to find out if you have a medical problem that's going to need some kind of a specialist, that they have it there.
Yes.
You need to know if you can adapt to a slower pace and be patient. You need to know if you can accept others the way they are without trying to change them.
Yes.
You need to know if you're able to stick to your budget. If you're making a budget, can you stick to that budget and take that budget and cut it in half? And that's what you need to live off of. I'm going to tell you, I've got a lot of experience in this country, and dollars go up and dollars go down. And there are times that all of a sudden your spending ability's half. So if you're only living on half of your budget, you came here not to have stress. So if you already know, even if it doubles, you can make it. That's the way you do it. You live on half of your budget. And watch our videos, not to push us, but I don't know that other people actually get into the details that we do about debit cards and your mail and your phone and paying this bill and that bill. And even we try to insert Spanish for how to order this and that. So I do suggest that if you're serious about this research, that you watch us, because we're more like fun classes.
Yes, and I can definitely agree with that. And those were great things, like the idea of stress and the dollar going up and down. That's one thing. Like, it's wonderful to earn dollars and spend pesos, which is what I advocate for. But yeah, sometimes those dollars are worth more pesos than others. So it's kind of things change a little bit. So But I want to thank you so much for joining me here. And we are doing this as a collaboration between YouTubers.
Yes.
So you will find another interview of me over on Cindy's channel, and you'll find that one up here right now. Otherwise, you'll find down in the links to the website and to her videos. So yeah, or something special that YouTube thinks is perfect just for you. So I'll see you in the next video. Hasta luego.